As you know, it was an election for the history books. Nearly 1 year ago, Joe Biden was declared the winner and president-elect in the 2020 White House race. And in her new book, our next guest explores the turbulence of the last election, warning the stakes for democracy have never been higher. Fox News contributor Mollie Hemingway is author of this very comprehensive book. It's called Rigged, How the Media, Big Tech, and the Democrats Seized Our Elections. She joins us right now. I know you talked to President Trump 3 times, but it's really not about Trump saying it was rigged, even though he used that term. This is about your research and what you found happened in 2020. What did you discover mainly?
Yeah, I wanted to know exactly what happened during the campaign. So for me, that means I interview everybody who's involved at the state and the national level. And I did find out that this election was unlike any election we'd ever had. People already knew that the media environment was corrupt, just like you just talked about. They suppressed that Hunter Biden story, which was explosive. They elevated fake news. They knew that big tech had manipulated. They did not want to have any information out that helped their political opponents or hurt their political allies. And so they censored information and they deplatformed people. And they also changed a lot of our election laws. Sometimes they did that legally and constitutionally. Sometimes they didn't. And Mark Zuckerberg, one of the world's wealthiest individuals, funded the private takeover of government election offices, and that enabled a bunch of left-wing activists to come in to government election offices and actually handle many things in an election, from voter registration to voting to vote counting.
And he put a lot of money in. He put money on both sides. And he said, look, I'm funding both to make sure this is a pandemic, a 2020 effective election. But he was putting an unequal amount. So that was disingenuous.
Well, yeah, they claimed that it was bipartisan, but they'd give a little bit of money to a Republican-leaning county and then like $10 million to Democrat counties. And it really did make a difference. It's taken a while to figure it out, but researchers have shown that this elevated Joe Biden's vote totals in key swing states. It was a very savvy plan, but now it's being made illegal because a lot of people understand we can't have tech oligarchs funding our government election offices. It'd be like the New England Patriots hiring and staffing the referees for games that they play against other people.
Right, and the crazy thing is Mark Zuckerberg, the individual, can only put maybe $2,200 in, but as a company, you can put hundreds of millions in. It's crazy. Here's an excerpt from your book, and you write this. Much of Silicon Valley's anger over Trump's victory was about their inability to control American opinion. In the past 2 elections, the tech industry has loudly and publicly taken credit for helping Obama's 2 victorious campaigns. But Silicon Valley's Orwellian reaction to 2016 proved once and for all that the visionaries at America's tech companies were oppressors, not liberators. Expand on that.
Well, in 2016, President Trump had a lot of success in using social media to bypass corrupt partisan media that would not let his message out. And so he used social media to talk directly to the people. These tech oligarchs knew that had happened, and they actually overtly promised that they wouldn't let it happen again. So they knew that they had to suppress information, constrain the free flow of information to help their political allies and hurt their political enemies. And so they censored, they deplatformed, and most dramatically, they took one of the most legitimate stories of the 2020 campaign, which was the Biden family business and what exactly people get when they give Biden family members so much money. And they just didn't cover it. But then when some people were covering it, like the New York Post, they actually took those people off. They deplatformed them from social media companies, and they wouldn't let people share that information. And so they just did a war on information because they knew that if people had information, they might vote for their political opponents.
It's up to the RNC, if they want to change things, to read your book, to understand where they went wrong, how they were taken advantage of, and adjust. Because a lot of money flows in, maybe not as much as the Democrats, but they can adjust. These elections are still winnable, but you have to know what you're up against. They were more nimble. Mark Elias, also keep your eye on him, heavily featured in your book, did a lot of suing to change laws to work for the Democrats' advantage. Thanks so much, Mollie, for coming in. We have so much more to talk about. We'll have you in your second round, but congratulations on the book.
Thank you.